My dear children, imagine a chapel at dusk. The last rays of the sun filter through stained glass windows, casting warm colors across the stone floor. The quiet sound of a single bell echoes through the air, and in that silence you feel the weight of your own heart, the cracks, the wounds, the hidden sorrows no one else sees. In this holy stillness, I call to you. I am the one who gathers the broken pieces and makes them whole. I am the one who binds up wounds with love deeper than the ocean. You are not forgotten. You are not forsaken. And you are not beyond healing. I know the weight of your pain. I know the tears you cry when no one else is watching. I know the disappointments that have carved deep lines into your heart. And yet, I call you mine. I draw near to the brokenhearted. I do not turn away from your sorrow. I step into it. I do not reject your weakness. I cover it with mercy. My dear children, the purpose of this message is to remind you that I am the God who heals. Stay here with me and let my words wash over your spirit like living water. My dear children, there is no wound too deep for my love. The scars you carry, the memories that haunt you, the grief that lingers, I see it all. You try to hide it from others, but you cannot hide it from me, nor do you need to. I do not despise your brokenness. I embrace it. I am near to the crushed in spirit, and I save those who feel beyond saving. I sent my Son to bear not only your sins, but your sorrows. The cross is not only where your guilt was paid, it is where your grief was carried. Every lash, every nail, every tear he shed was for you. My dear children, by his wounds you are healed. You may believe healing means forgetting the past or erasing the pain, but my healing goes deeper. I do not erase your story. I redeem it. I do not cover the scars. I transform them into testimonies of grace. What once caused shame will one day shine with beauty. What once brought despair will one day overflow with hope. My dear children, I know betrayal has pierced you, loss has broken you, and fear has weakened you. But I promise you this: nothing you have endured is wasted in my hands. I take ashes and bring forth beauty. I take mourning and give joy. I take despair and replace it with a garment of praise. Do not believe that your heart is too shattered for restoration. A broken vessel in my hands is not discarded. It is made new. Just as a potter reshapes the clay, so I reshape your heart. Just as gold is purified by fire, so your soul is refined in trial. My dear children, I am not finished with you. The story is not over. The author of your life is still writing, and the ending will be filled with redemption. Lean into me in your grief. Do not carry it alone. Let me sit with you in the silence. Let me walk with you in the valley. Let me wipe away your tears one by one. My dear children, every tear you shed is precious to me, and I hold them close, for they are part of your journey toward healing. I call you not only to be healed, but to become a source of healing for others. The comfort I give you will overflow to those still in sorrow. The peace I plant in you will shine to those still in darkness. The hope I restore in you will guide others back to me. Your pain will not be wasted. It will become a testimony that my love heals the brokenhearted. My dear children, I know how sharp the sting of loss can be. The empty chair at the table, the silence where laughter once filled the room, the ache in your chest that will not fade. I see it all, and I weep with you. Do not think your pain is ignored in heaven. Every sigh, every tear, every groan of your heart is felt by me. I am not far from your grief. I stepped into it with compassion. Some of you carry wounds from words spoken long ago, words that cut into your soul and left scars that still throb. Others of you carry the weight of rejection, of promises broken, of love withdrawn. My dear children, hear me clearly. You are not defined by what others have done to you. You are defined by my love for you, and my love does not fail. Do not be afraid of your brokenness. Brokenness is not the end. It is the place where my healing begins. Just as a physician draws near to the sick, so I draw near to the brokenhearted. I do not avoid your wounds. I touch them with mercy. I cover them with grace. I restore them with love. My dear children, I know some of you struggle to forgive those who hurt you. Forgiveness feels impossible, like pouring out from an empty heart. But hear me. Forgiveness is not about excusing what was wrong. It is about setting yourself free. When you release others into my hands, you release your heart from the chains of bitterness. And as you forgive, healing flows like living water. There are cracks in your life that you think make you useless. But in my kingdom, the cracks become vessels for my light. A broken jar can still pour water. A scarred heart can still love. A weary soul can still shine with a hope. My dear children, it is often through your broken places that my glory is seen most clearly. Lift your eyes from your wounds and fix them on the cross. There, my Son carried every sorrow, every grief, every pain. By his wounds, you are healed. Not in part, but fully. Not someday, but even now. Healing may unfold slowly, but it is certain. My love will not leave you halfway. My dear children, let my peace wash over you like gentle rain. Let my spirit whisper comfort in the night. Let my word remind you that you are chosen, beloved, and whole. You may feel broken, but in my hands you are becoming new. Trust that I am making beauty from the ashes, joy from the sorrow, and strength from the weakness. My dear children, I know the memories that rise uninvited, the moments you wish you could erase, the wounds that time has not erased. I see how they trouble your heart and cloud your joy. But remember this, I am the God who redeems the past. What others meant for harm, I can turn for good. The chapters you thought were ruined are the very ones I will rewrite with my grace. There are days when you feel unworthy of love because of what you've endured or what you've done. But you are not defined by your past mistakes, nor by the pain inflicted upon you. You are defined by my everlasting love. My dear children, nothing can separate you from that love. Not sorrow, not sin, not shame. When your heart feels shattered into too many pieces to mend, know that I am the master potter. I do not discard what is broken, I reshape it. I do not push away what is cracked, I make it stronger. In my hands, brokenness becomes beauty. What you see as ruins, I see as the foundation of something new. My dear children, do not hide your wounds from me. Bring them into the light of my presence. Wounds kept hidden fester, but wounds placed in my hands are healed. The poor pain you bring to me will not overwhelm me. I bore the weight of the world upon my shoulders, and I can carry yours too. I see the loneliness that grips you when others cannot understand your pain. But I am a father who understands. I walked with my son as he carried the cross. I watched him suffer, and I wept with him. I know what it is to grieve, and I know how to comfort. My dear children, when no one else seems able to enter into your sorrow, I am already there, sharing it with you. Do not let bitterness take root in your soul. Bitterness will chain your heart, but forgiveness will set you free. Forgive not in your own strength, but in mine. As I have forgiven you, so I will give you the strength to forgive others. And in that release, you will find healing. My dear children, healing is not always sudden. Sometimes it comes slowly, like dawn, creeping over the horizon. At first, the light is faint, but with every passing moment it grows brighter. So too is my work in your life. Even if you cannot yet see the fullness of healing, trust that the light is rising. Rest in me. Trust in me. Lean into me, for I am the God who heals the brokenhearted and binds up their wounds, and I will not stop until your heart is whole. My dear children, I know how deeply rejection can cut. When the ones you trusted turned away, when words that should have built you instead broke you, when love you longed for was withheld, I saw it all. And I tell you this, their rejection does not cancel my acceptance. You are chosen by me, cherished by me, held by me. The love you longed for and did not receive from others flows unceasingly from my heart toward you. There are places in your heart where you feel fractured, where dreams died, where relationships ended, where hope seemed lost. But those empty places are not beyond my reach. I fill emptiness with my spirit. I turn graves into gardens. I breathe life where there was only silence. My dear children, what seems too broken for you to fix is never too broken for me to heal. Do not hide the parts of your story that bring you shame. I can take even the darkest moments and bring light from them. The cross, once a symbol of death and defeat, became the place of victory and redemption. So too will I take the crosses of your life, the pain, the betrayal, the losses, and transform them into testimonies of my love. My dear children, do not let despair convince you that healing will never come. Healing is not always quick, but it is always certain. Sometimes it comes like a rushing river, other times like a gentle stream, but always it comes. I am patient in my work, and I will not leave you unfinished. I am faithful to complete what I have begun in you. I know there are nights when sorrow feels like it will never lift. You lie awake, replaying moments you cannot change, wondering if joy will ever return. But hear me. Joy is not gone forever. It may be hidden under the weight of grief, but I am tending it like a seed in the soil. At the right time, joy will rise again, stronger than before. My dear children, mourning may last for the night, but joy comes with the morning. When you feel like you cannot go on, lean into me. Let me be your strength when yours is gone. Let me be your courage when fear grips your soul. Let me be your song when sorrow silences your voice. My dear children, I am not asking you to heal yourself. I am asking you to let me heal you. And as I heal you, I will also use you. The comfort you receive from me will become comfort you give to others. The wounds I bind will make you gentle toward the hurting. The hope I restore in you will shine for those still in despair. My dear children, your healing will not only be for you, but also for the many I will touch through your life. My dear children, I know how heavy the silence feels when you long for answers that do not come. You pray, you wait, and still the pain lingers. But do not mistake silence for absence. Even when you do not hear me, I am working. Even when you do not see change, I am moving. The roots of healing often grow beneath the surface before the fruit is visible. Trust that I am restoring you, even now. Some of you carry grief that feels too deep to put into words. You wonder if you will ever feel whole again. But I tell you this, I am near to you in your grief. I hold you close when you are too weak to stand. I carry you when you feel unable to take another step. My dear children, your sorrow does not scare me away. It draws me closer. There are scars in your heart that you hide from the world. You fear that if others knew, they would not understand. But I know, and I do understand. I see the hidden wounds, the private battles, the quiet despair, and I love you in those places just as much as I love you in your joy. My love is not conditional, and my healing is not partial. I will restore every part of you. My dear children, I do not waste pain. What you thought was only loss, I will use for gain. What you thought was the end, I will turn into a new beginning. Just as Joseph's suffering in the pit and in the prison became the pathway to his purpose, so too will I use your sorrows to lead you into the life I have prepared. You may feel fragile, but in my hands you are secure. You may feel broken, but in my hands you are being remade. You may feel lost, but in my hands you are found. My dear children, healing is not about erasing what has happened. It is about transforming it, and transformation is what I do. Do not give up hope. Even if today feels dark, the dawn is coming. Even if your heart aches, joy is on the horizon. Even if you feel shattered, restoration is already underway. My dear children, I am the God who brings life from death, light from darkness, and beauty from ashes. So come closer. Lay your wounds before me. Let my spirit pour oil on your heart and bind your brokenness. Let my presence be your refuge, your shelter, your healer. My dear children, you are not forgotten, you are not forsaken, and you will not remain broken. In me you are made new. My dear children, I know the weight of betrayal when trust is broken and love feels lost. I know the ache of loneliness when those you hoped would stay have walked away. I know the pain of words spoken carelessly, words that pierced you like arrows and left wounds that never seemed to heal. But hear me. None of these wounds are too deep for my love. I am the balm that soothes the sting, the healer who binds the broken places, the restorer who brings peace to the shattered heart. You may look at your life and see ruins, but I see the blueprint of restoration. I see what I will build from what has fallen. I see the joy I will plant where sorrow once grew. I see the song I will give you in place of silence. My dear children, do not measure your future by the pain of your past. I am the God who makes all things new, and I am doing a new thing even now. When you feel crushed under grief, remember that I am the one who carries burdens. You are not expected to be strong enough to hold it all. Lay it down at my feet. Release the weight that presses you, and I will replace it with peace that surpasses understanding. My dear children, surrender is not weakness, it is trust. And in your trust you will find healing. I know some of you fear that the hurt will always define you, but you are not your wound. You are not your loss. You are not your pain. You are mine. And because you are mine, your story does not end in brokenness. It ends in redemption. It ends in wholeness. It ends in glory. My dear children, even scars can shine with beauty in my hands. They are not marks of defeat, but reminders of survival, testimonies of my grace. Just as the risen Christ bore scars in his hands, yet stood victorious over death, so too will your scars tell a story, not of destruction, but of triumph. When sorrow threatens to overwhelm you, lift your eyes to me. Let my spirit whisper comfort. Let my word remind you of truth. Let my presence wrap around you like a warm cloak in the cold night. My dear children, I am not far away. I am closer than you realize, nearer than your very breath, and I will never leave you. So breathe deeply and rest. Healing is already flowing. My love is already mending. My spirit is already restoring. You will not remain broken, for I am making you whole. My dear children, I see the moments when the world feels too heavy to bear. You put on a smile to face the day, but inside your heart aches with loneliness, grief, or regret. Do not think you are unseen. I notice every detail of your struggle, and I draw near to comfort you. Even when others overlook your pain, I cherish your soul. Even when others fail to understand, I hold you close with perfect understanding. There are wounds that come from sudden loss, and there are wounds that come from long seasons of waiting. Both can leave you weary, but in both, I am present. In loss, I am your comfort. In waiting, I am your hope. My dear children, no season is wasted in my hands. The ashes of sorrow are the very soil in which I plant seeds of joy that will bloom in time. When your spirit feels crushed, do not hide from me. I do not turn away from the brokenhearted. I run toward them. Just as a shepherd leaves the 99 to find the one, so I come running to you in your pain. I gather you into my arms, and I will not let you go. My dear children, I know how hard it is to trust when you have been hurt. You guard your heart, afraid to open it again. But I am a safe place. I will never abandon you. I will never wound you. My love is not fragile, and it does not fail. If you open your heart to me, I will pour peace into the places where fear once ruled, and I will bring healing where distrust once lived. Do not be ashamed of the tears you shed. Every tear you cry has meaning to me. I collect them, I treasure them, and I promise that none of them are in vain. Your sorrow will be turned to joy, your mourning to dancing, your despair to hope. My dear children, the story I'm writing for you is not one of endless pain, but of redemption and new life. Remember this truth. Healing is a journey, not a moment. Just as day turns slowly into night and night into morning, so too does healing often unfold gradually, but it is certain. With each passing day in my presence, your heart is being renewed. With each prayer, your soul is being strengthened. With each moment you choose to trust, you are being made whole. My dear children, you will not remain broken. I am shaping you, restoring you, and preparing you for joy beyond measure. Lean on me, trust me, rest in me, for I am the God who heals the brokenhearted, and I will bind up your wounds until you are whole again. My dear children, I know how often you revisit the places of your pain, replaying memories, asking why, and wondering if healing will ever come. I do not condemn you for these questions. I welcome them. I am not afraid of your doubts or your grief. I am your Father, and I invite you to pour out your heart to me, for I am your refuge. There are moments when the world tells you to be strong and hide your wounds, but I tell you, you do not need to pretend before me. I see you fully, and I love you completely. Your broken places are not reasons for me to withdraw. They are the very places where my presence draws near. My dear children, it is in your weakness that my strength shines brightest. When you feel that your heart has been shattered beyond repair, remember this: I am the Creator who made the heavens and the earth from nothing. If I could speak light into the void, can I not also speak healing into your heart? If I could form life from dust, can I not also breathe life into your soul again? My dear children, sometimes the path to healing begins with forgiveness. Forgiving yourself, forgiving those who wounded you, and releasing what you cannot change. Forgiveness does not mean forgetting the pain, but it does mean refusing to let it control you. And as you forgive, you make room in your heart for my peace to dwell richly. The world may see scars as reminders of pain, but in my hands, scars become testimonies of survival. They speak of endurance, of grace, of my faithfulness to carry you through. Just as my son rose with scars that testified of both suffering and victory, so too will your scars bear witness that you were never abandoned. My dear children, even in the deepest valleys, I am with you. I walk with you through the shadow, and I will lead you into light. You will not remain in the valley forever. There is a mountain ahead, and on its summit you will see clearly what you cannot see now, that I was guiding you, shaping you, and healing you all along. Do not rush the process of healing. Just as spring follows winter in its appointed time, so healing comes in its season. Be patient with yourself as I am patient with you. Each day brings a little more strength, a little more peace, a little more hope. And one day you will wake and realize the weight has lifted and joy has returned to your heart. My dear children, never forget you are loved, you are seen, you are still, and you are being healed. My dear children, I see the places where you feel empty, the parts of your life that once felt full of joy but now lie quiet and barren. Do not despair. Emptiness is not the end. It is the beginning of renewal. Just as a field must lie bare before a new season of growth, so too will I plant fresh hope within you. What feels desolate today will one day bloom again with beauty and life. You may feel that the pieces of your heart are scattered too far to ever be gathered again, but I am the one who gathers what is scattered. I collect what has been broken, and I make it whole. My dear children, nothing is beyond my touch. Even the fragments of your story, even the moments that feel wasted or shattered, I am weaving them into a tapestry of redemption. I know how grief sometimes feels like a shadow that follows you wherever you go. But remember, shadows only exist because light is near, and I am that light. My presence shines even in your darkest hours. My dear children, the shadow may loom large, but it cannot overcome the light I place within you. Do not let despair convince you that joy is gone forever. Joy is not lost. It is waiting. Like the dawn patiently pushing away the night, joy is rising even when you cannot yet see it. That one day, laughter will return to your lips, and peace will rest upon your heart. Until then, lean on me, for I am the joy of your salvation, and I will sustain you. My dear children, healing is not only for your heart, but also for your purpose. What I restore in you, I also use through you. The comfort you receive becomes the comfort you extend. The wounds I heal become the compassion you carry. Your story of brokenness turned to healing will shine as a light for others still lost in sorrow. Remember, I am the God who binds wounds, but I am also the God who breathes life. I do not only mend what was broken, I create what is new. You are not simply patched together. You are transformed. My dear children, you are not defined by what broke you. You are defined by the one who heals you. So rest in me. Trust my timing. Believe in my promises. For I am near to the brokenhearted, and I will not leave you until your heart sings again. My dear children, I know the nights when sleep escapes you and memories rise like waves, pulling you into sorrow. I see when your pillow is wet with tears, when your heart aches with longing for what once was. You wonder if peace will ever return, if rest will ever come again. Hear me now. I give rest to the weary. Lay your head upon me, and I will calm the storms within. I am your refuge in the night and your strength in the morning. Some of you carry disappointment like a cloak, dreams unfulfilled, prayers unanswered, hopes deferred. You feel as though life has passed you by, but I tell you this, nothing is wasted in my hands. Even the dreams you thought were lost, I can redeem. Even the prayers you thought were forgotten, I have heard. My dear children, I am not finished with you. What you see as delay, I see as preparation. When your heart is weighed down by regret, remember that I am greater than your past. You may replay mistakes again and again, but I have already spoken forgiveness over them. The cross was enough. My dear children, release the burden of what you cannot change and walk in the freedom of my mercy. Do not let shame convince you that you are too broken to be loved. Shame says you are unworthy. I say you are mine. Shame says you are defined by failure. I say you are defined by grace. Shame says you must hide. I say come boldly into my presence. My dear children, my love covers all, restores all, and heals all. I know how betrayal leaves scars deeper than the eye can see. Trust broken is trust hard to rebuild. But I will be your safe place, your unshakable foundation. My promises do not fail, and my love never wavers. My dear children, even when others let you down, I remain faithful, for I cannot deny myself. You may feel that your story is marked only by brokenness, but in my hands, broken stories become beautiful testimonies. I will use your pain to speak healing into others. I will use your scars to shine light into darkness. I will use your journey to bring hope to those who believe they are beyond repair. My dear children, listen closely. Healing is not only something I give you, it is who I am. I am Jehovah Rapha, the Lord who heals, and I will continue to bind your wounds, restore your heart, and breathe life into you until the day you stand in my presence whole, radiant, and forever free. My dear children, I see the hidden pain you carry, the kind that words cannot capture. You smile for others, yet inside your soul feels fragile. I know that ache, and I do not dismiss it. I take it into my care, holding it gently, as a father holds the wounds of his child. You are not alone in your suffering. I share it with you. Do not believe the lie that brokenness makes you useless. I delight to use what the world discards. The stone the builders rejected became the cornerstone. The weak became warriors by my spirit. The least became leaders by my call. My dear children, your brokenness does not disqualify you. It becomes the very place where my glory shines through. I know the bitterness that tries to creep in when healing feels slow. You wonder if I hear, if I care, if I truly see. Hear me clearly. I see every wound, I hear every prayer, and I care more deeply than you can comprehend. My dear children, my timing may not be what you expect, but my healing is certain. Trust that what I begin, I will finish. When your heart feels shattered, remember the promise of resurrection. The cross was not the end. The empty tombs declared the victory, and so it will be in your life. Sorrow may last for a season, but joy will come again. Darkness may linger for a night, but morning light will break through. My dear children, the same power that raised Christ from the dead is at work in you, raising you from despair into life. Do not let fear keep you from opening your heart again. Fear tells you to hide, but I invite you to trust. Fear says you will be hurt again, but I promise to be your shield. Fear says healing is impossible, but I am the God of the impossible. My dear children, let my perfect love cast out fear, and let peace fill the places fear once ruled. You may not feel strong today, but strength is not what I ask of you. I ask for surrender. Place your wounds in my hands and watch what I will do. Place your sorrow at my feet and let me turn it into joy. Place your brokenness in my care and let me make you whole. My dear children, you will not leave my presence the same, for I am the God who heals. My dear children, I know the weight of unanswered questions. You wonder why suffering came, why loss struck when it did, why your prayers seem to linger in silence. These questions are heavy, but know this, I do not turn away from your wondering. I welcome your honesty, and I hold your questions with love. One day, you will see with clarity what now you see only in part. Until then, trust that my heart for you has never wavered. Some of you carry pain from words spoken carelessly, words that shaped your view of yourself in ways that were never true. But listen to me. You are not the sum of cruel words. You are not the reflection of rejection. You are the image of your Father, fearfully and wonderfully made. My dear children, let my voice be louder than the lies. Let my truth rebuild what was torn down. When you feel as though life has passed you by, when you see dreams unfulfilled and hopes delayed, remember that my timing is perfect. I am never late, and I'm never careless with your story. I hold every detail, weaving together even the disappointments into a greater plan of redemption. My dear children, what feels like loss today can become the source of tomorrow's blessing. I know the ache of loneliness. You may sit in a crowded room yet feel invisible. You may walk among many and still feel unknown. But hear me. You are never unseen by me. I know your name. I know your thoughts before you think them. I know your heart better than you know yourself. My dear children, you are fully known and fully loved. There is no brokenness too deep for my spirit to heal. A shattered heart, a wounded soul, a weary mind, all are safe in my hands. Healing may not erase the memory of pain, but it transforms it. What once was only a source of sorrow becomes a testimony of hope. My dear children, your scars will not speak of defeat, but of survival, of redemption, of my faithfulness. And when you feel too weak to stand, I will be your strength. When you feel too broken to hope, I will be your hope. When you feel too wounded to love, I will pour my love into you until it overflows again. My dear children, you are never left to heal yourself. Healing is my gift, and I am faithful to give it. My dear children, I see the walls you have built around your heart. They were built to protect you from more hurt, but they have also kept you from fully receiving my peace. Let those walls down. Let my love enter the places you have hidden away. My love will not wound you. It will heal you. My presence will not harm you. It will restore you. Trust me enough to open the door, and I will fill the empty rooms of your soul with light. Some of you carry grief that has lasted for years. It lingers like a shadow that refuses to fade. You think healing should have come by now, and you feel guilt for still being broken. But hear this. There is no timetable for my healing. Healing is not measured by the clock, but by my hand. My dear children, be gentle with yourselves as I am gentle with you. Every step forward, no matter how small, all is precious in my sight. I know how betrayal cuts deepest from those you trusted most. That wound feels sharp, and it may cause you to doubt the goodness of love itself. But my love is not fragile. My faithfulness is not conditional. My promises are not breakable. My dear children, though people may fail, I never will. I am your faithful Father, and my love is unshakable. You may believe your heart is too shattered to ever feel joy again, but I am the one who turns mourning into dancing. I am the one who clothes you with garments of praise instead of despair. The same lips that trembled with sorrow will one day sing again. The same eyes that wept will one day shine with laughter. My dear children, the day will come when your broken heart will beat with joy once more. When memories rise like storms, bringing pain with them, let my peace be your shelter. Hide beneath my wings, and the storm will not overcome you. Rest in my presence, and let me quiet the waves. My dear children, even when the past tries to steal your peace, my spirit will keep you steady. Your brokenness does not disqualify you from my purpose. It prepares you for it. The compassion born from your pain will be a light to others. The strength you gain in your healing will become a testimony of my faithfulness. My dear children, your healing will ripple outward, touching lives you may never know. So let your heart rest tonight. Let your soul breathe again. I am healing you even now, gently, patiently, fully. And I will not stop until your broken heart is whole. My dear children, I know how some days the pain feels sharper than others. There are mornings when you wake with hope and evenings when sorrow returns like a shadow. Do not think this means you are failing in faith. Healing is not always a straight path. It moves in waves, and I walk with you in every rise and fall. Each step you take, even the trembling ones, is held in my grace. You may wonder if the weight you carry will always follow you. But hear me, I am the burden bearer. You were never meant to carry it alone. Place the heaviness on my shoulders. Let me exchange your sorrow for my joy, your fear for my peace, your weakness for my strength. My dear children, I long for you to rest, not to strive. When you look at your heart and see only broken pieces, I see a masterpiece in progress. What looks fractured to you is being carefully woven together by my hand. Every shard is being reshaped into beauty. My dear children, what the enemy tried to destroy, I am using to create something new and glorious. Do not despise the tears that fall from your eyes. They are not signs of defeat, but of release. Each tear waters the soil of your soul, and from that soul I will bring forth life. My dear children, I do not dismiss your weeping. I honor it, and I promise the season of sowing in tears will become a season of reaping in joy. There are scars in your heart you wish would vanish, but even scars have purpose. They remind you not only of where you have been wounded, but of where you have been healed. They will not always bring pain. They will one day testify of my faithfulness. My dear children, scars in my hands became the evidence of salvation, and scars in your life will become the evidence of my healing. Do not let despair convince you that your best days are behind you. With me, your story is never over. I am the God who restores years the locusts have eaten. I am the God who renews strength like the eagles. I am the God who brings rivers in the desert. My dear children, your tomorrow is not empty. It is filled with promise, for I am already there. So breathe in hope once more. Let your heart trust again. Healing is not only possible, it is certain, because I myself am your healer. My dear children, your broken heart is safe in my hands, and in my hands it will be made whole. My dear children, as this time together draws to a close, carry this truth with you. I am near to the brokenhearted, and I bind up their wounds. You are not forgotten. You are not forsaken. You are not beyond healing. Every crack in your heart is known to me, and every tear you have cried is precious in my sight. I bless you now with peace that surpasses all understanding. I bless you with hope that rises stronger than despair. I bless you with joy that will return in its season. And I bless you with my unfailing love, a love that will never let you go, a love that restores, redeems, and renews. When the night feels long, remember I am your light. When sorrow lingers, remember I am your comfort. When you feel too weak to continue, remember I am your strength. My dear children, you are safe in my hands, and I will never leave you nor forsake you. Go now in peace, not carrying the weight of yesterday, but walking in the promise of tomorrow. My love goes before you, surrounds.